Hi, my name's Kevin Marcus. I'm the CFO here at our company, and just a few comments about Silicon Plains and anyone who might be thinking of choosing their services. Let me take a step back a little bit, and I guess I've been involved in the IT world in some capacity for the better part of 15 years, and IT isn't always the most glamorous thing that people want to talk about. And so what I've seen is people take a reactionary approach. In other words, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everything's working, we're just going to go on, we're going to do what we do best, which is our business, whatever it is. And as long as the computer ain't broke, we're good. And when I came in here, going on 7 years ago now, one of the first tasks I was assigned as a CFO was also to fix the IT issues. Well, I had to do some investigating to see what that was, and we indeed were kind of one of those companies where we had just kind of let things go. Everything was working, but time goes on, systems get outdated, people come and go. And pretty soon you start having complaints, and a lot of complaints, and systems are slow and they're not working and whatever. And so we went through our procurement process. I realized that we did not have the staff here to handle an internal IT department. We have about 350 or so staff here. And so that was not going to be an option for us. Up until that time, we had grown and had one guy who was kind of in charge of IT, but it just got too big, and he got toward onward retirement, and we needed to do something. So back to the procurement process, I talked to the providers in the area, and one thing that stood out with Silicon from the others came in with all their fancy graphs and brochures and said, here's what we do, here's our price. What do you think? Like, well, I really have no idea. Silicon's approach was a bit different. They were very professional, but they came in with a notepad and a pencil. And when I asked them what they could do, they said, before we can answer that, we need to do an assessment of what you got. You've got several locations, we call them campuses. We don't know how old your systems are, how they're connected. We really can't answer that question until we do a thorough assessment. I found that refreshing, and long story short, they did that assessment, came back, and wasn't necessarily what I wanted to hear, but I wasn't surprised. And what I heard was, your system is dated, you've got pieces and parts from big box stores that don't speak well together. They're not commercial grade, they're probably something people would use in their home. And it's kind of cobbled or duct taped together, I guess you'd say. And in order to fix it, Kevin, we've got to take it apart one Band-Aid at a time and put it back together with some components that will talk to each other, that will give you the security that you need, and will give you the performance that your staff needs to do their work. And so that's where we started. And they were never pushy. That's what I really like about Silicon. It was not a high pressure sales thing. It was more about, what's your budget, Kevin? What can you afford? Here's what we need to do. We know we need X number of laptops. We know that not every company can buy, 50 or whatever the number is of laptops in 1 year. But we need to get you on a schedule so that we can get you up to speed where you've got faster systems that are more secure, more reliable, you have less problems with your people. And we also provide, around the clock support for questions that your people may have. And we have a person on call after 8 to 5 anytime. They'll get back to you within an hour. And yeah, it's been 7 years almost now. We've been with Silicon, and they've been true to their word. We just went through our second upgrade of systems. They give us nice quarterly reports about, laptops and desktops that are out of warranty or 3 or more years old, or whatever your criteria is for replacement. And then we go through a cycle where we replace them so many, per year to fit our budget. We just went through the second cycle of that, and everything is up and running. They're always really responsive when we call their helpline, and that's really important, because everyone thinks they're the only person in the world when they have a problem, and we all know that's not reality. But they do their best to be there and help us with our problems, whether they need to come out on site or whether they can do it remotely. Either way. But one other thing I would say, and I think this is really important that people forget about, you can talk about fancy systems, you can talk about the best firewalls, the best security, all of that. And I believe that we have that, but in today's environment with malware and phishing schemes and all the cybercrime everywhere, you're only as good as your people. I mean, no matter how hard you try, you're going to have a phishing email that's going to get through your filters, or people are going to see it. And all it takes is one click, and you can be infected. And my point being is, not only does Silicon have the hardware and the components and the support to help you with that, but they have a really great monthly training system. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's kind of about repetition. It's probably a 15-minute thing once a month for your employees to watch some of their training videos, and it keeps you up to date on what's the latest phishing scheme or what's the latest hacking scheme going around. And we've seen tremendous improvement. They give us monthly reports of, well, let me back up a minute on that. Part of this training is they send out, they're not really malware or phishing schemes, but they're just simulated to test our staff to see if they'll click on a link they shouldn't. And if they do, then they may have to take another 5 or 10 minutes of training. It's just a reminder to not do that. But that repetition, we've seen the progress over the years from where we started with 350 people who really aren't computer experts, and that's not what we do. But the awareness on these reports we see monthly, say out of 100 simulated attacks that Silicon does, we might have 1 or 2 clicks, meaning one or 2 people fell for that, and then they'll get a little bit more training. That awareness has been huge here. It's been a huge improvement. We have people that are aware, they're very cautious. I see it daily where people say, hey, I got this, Kevin, I'm not even going to forward it to you. I think it just doesn't look right. And they're learning that through this training. So I guess if you're thinking about Silicon, I would highly recommend that you consider their training as well. 7 years, complaints have gone way down, service has gone way up, reliability's been great. We have a problem, they're here to take care of it, and that's what I would tell you. Very impressed and very happy with them.